They say that when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. I've been working with the law of attraction for a while, but I wasn't seeing the kind of progress I had hoped for. I was hungry for more abundance, more success. That's when I came across and it truly shifted my perspective on how the law of attraction actually works. By applying the principles in that book, I went from struggling to finally achieving multimillionaire status by the time I was 28. It also helped me find my soulmate and experience a level of happiness I never thought was possible. In this video, I'm going to break down the powerful lessons from Dr. Joe Dispenza that transformed my life and how they can help you use the law of attraction effectively to attract financial abundance, success, love, and happiness. So, stick with me to the end. And if you find value in this, hit that like button so this message can reach even more people. Let's dive in. Dr. Joe Dispenza's Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself is a book that completely changed my life, and I've read it at least 8 to 10 times. What really hit home for me was when he explained the law of attraction through the lens of neuroscience. A lot of people dismiss the law of attraction as woo-woo or unproven, but recent discoveries in neuroscience show us that this process of creating our reality is wired into our brains and nervous system. The key principle here is something called Hebb's Law, which states that nerve cells that fire together wire together. Let that sink in. Nerve cells that fire together wire together. This concept was a game changer for me. Up until that point, I had been bouncing between different manifestation techniques like affirmations, vision boards, and visualization. Sometimes I'd see results, but other times I wouldn't. I'd start to doubt myself and the process. What I didn't realize was that every time I experienced an emotion, I was firing nerve cells in my brain. And as I repeated those emotions and experiences, I was creating new neural pathways, literally rewiring my brain to attract the reality I wanted. Imagine your brain like a radio. When you turn the dial to 90.1 FM, your radio is conditioned to play the station tuned to that frequency. Similarly, your brain is conditioned to produce certain outcomes in your life based on the frequency it's tuned to. Whether it's wealth, love, or success, your emotions wire your brain, and that in turn controls the results in your life. The more you align your thoughts, feelings, and emotions with the reality you desire, the stronger those neural connections become. Over time, your brain starts to produce the very results you've been visualizing and affirming. I never understood that while I was doing my affirmations, saying things like, I want more money, I want to be successful, I wasn't just speaking words. I was literally creating new neural networks in my brain that could either help or hinder me. When you apply this understanding, it shifts everything. You realize that the law of attraction isn't just about wishing for something. It's about changing the way you think, feel, and act until your brain is rewired to match your dreams. I had big dreams. I wanted to positively impact people's lives, see my books published, and attract the perfect partner. I knew exactly what I wanted, but the real problem was that there was no emotion behind it. I would repeat affirmations like, I want success, or I want money, but they felt like nothing more than a string of words. They weren't connecting with my emotions, which meant they didn't make an impact on my brain or nervous system. And if they didn't impact my brain, they couldn't rewire it for success. At the time, I couldn't understand why my desires weren't manifesting. I was constantly asking, why aren't these things happening for me? What I didn't realize was that I wasn't activating the real change needed on a deeper level. I hadn't affected my brain's synaptic connections, the very foundation that controls our thoughts and actions. Here's the crazy part. I always believed that I wasn't good with numbers, that I was just stuck with certain limitations. I thought I knew who I was and that I couldn't change. You know the old saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Well, it turns out that's not true at all. It's called neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself, to evolve, to adapt. And it's this ability that allows us to recreate our lives. You can rewire your brain to attract success, money, love, or anything else you desire, but it requires emotion. It's the emotional charge that activates new neural pathways, the connections that trigger positive change. By consistently practicing new thoughts and emotions, you can recondition your brain and create new behaviors. And once I understood this, everything clicked. That's when I realized that I had the power to change the trajectory of my life by shifting my brain's patterns. That's why I always talk about tools like my free success hypnosis and the program I created, The Second Mind. Once I grasped this concept, I dedicated my time and energy to building tools that would retrain my brain for success. I realized I didn't have to struggle tooth and nail to achieve my goals. Instead, I could rewire my brain to naturally attract the things I wanted: money, love, fulfilling relationships, and success without all the hard effort. The second mind is essentially the brain I consciously chose to create. I realized that my first mind was programmed by society, shaped by past experiences, and limited by old beliefs. But my second mind, the one I intentionally reprogrammed, was the one I used to magnetize success into my life. It's the part of me that was aligned with my vision of abundance and fulfillment. And with it, I could become a deliberate creator of my own reality. Once I understood this, I realized that the key to my future was entirely in my hands. My success, my happiness, and my relationships were all within reach because I had the power to affect change on my nervous system and my brain. Just like how a car's governor limits its speed, my brain had a governor that was only allowing me to attract a certain level of success, relationships, and abundance. But when I consciously rewired my mind, I removed that governor, and suddenly the possibilities became endless. If you're feeling stuck in your current reality, know this: you have the ability to change it. You don't have to accept limitations. Rewire your mind, shift your beliefs, and watch as your life transforms in ways you never thought possible. The power to change your reality is right inside you. If you're here right now, you're likely on the edge of something big, something life-changing. And I'm here to tell you that you have the power to make it happen, because I've been there too. I once felt stuck, believing my personality was holding me back from the life I wanted. But then I learned a simple truth: change your personality, change your reality. It's not as complicated as it sounds. When I dove into the work of Dr. Joe Dispenza, specifically his book Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, it hit me: everything I thought I knew about personal growth needed to be reprogrammed. The problem was I hadn't conditioned my subconscious mind to match the life I wanted. But once I did, everything shifted. This isn't just theory, it's science. Dr. Dispenza teaches that your personality is actually what shapes your personal reality. If you change how you think, feel, and act, your whole world will start to change. It's not about forcing a new reality. It's about reprogramming yourself from the inside out. And the best part? We have the tools to do it. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself, is real. We can literally retrain our minds to become magnets for the life we dream of. For me, this journey involved using tools like the Second Mind, a system I created to help myself and others rewire their brains for success. I designed it to help people break free from the old, limiting beliefs and habits that hold them back. You can check it out. It's linked in the comments below, and there's even a free demo for you to try. But here's the key: emotion. With many law of attraction methods, people get stuck just repeating affirmations without truly feeling the words. When you don't inject emotion, you don't fire new neural connections, and your brain stays stuck in the same pattern. But when you engage your emotions, it sparks a transformation. That's when change happens. When you meditate, practice mental rehearsal, or even use tools like the Second Mind or hypnosis, the goal isn't just to repeat something, it's to feel the shift. When you leave a meditation session or hypnosis feeling better, you're literally rewiring your brain. That's how you start attracting a new reality. So, if you're ready to take action, I want you to comment below: rewire and recreate. It's a simple affirmation, but a powerful one. Every time you use tools like these, every time you work on yourself, remember, you're not just creating a new mindset, you're creating a new life. Never forget, you are a divine being connected to a universal source of power. And the best part is, you can start right now. The past is gone. and you're free to create whatever future you desire. Whether it's success in your career, financial freedom, love, or personal growth, it's all within your control. The question is, are you ready to change your reality?